Hi, Matilda Nestroska with Remax About Town here. We're continuing to dissect the agreement to purchase and sale in a plain and simple Matilda's way. So today we will be talking about the deposit. Okay, so it's in there. It can be delivered with an offer during the offer presentation, or it can be delivered upon acceptance. Usual term is within 24 business hours. The weekends are not counted, and the statutory holiday as well. Sometimes it happens, like happened to my client just recently. There was a big storm and the banks were closed, so we couldn't deliver it that day, but that's okay. We delivered it next day. Okay, so what is a deposit? Deposit demonstrates buyer's sincerity and good faith to proceed with the transaction. And there's absolutely no mandatory minimum or maximum amount for it. There is some norm that people try to use, but absolutely there is no rule about it. However, the higher amount it is, the better chances that seller will accept your offer, especially when we're dealing with a multiple offer situation. Let's say there are 2 or 3 exactly the same offers with exactly the same terms. If you have higher deposit, more likely they will take yours. Speaking of deposit, there are 2 most common drastic mistakes that buyers make. The first one, some people think, the worst case scenario, if I change my mind, I'm just going to lose my deposit. And the second one, which I think is even worse, people think if they buy the property with an unconditional offer, that if they don't deliver the deposit within those 24 hours, the deal is off again. Wrong. Okay, so let me explain you why. The first thing, if you think that you're just going to lose your deposit, let me give you an example. Let's say you bought a small condo and you just put $10,000 to $15,000 deposit. Not a biggie, right? You change your mind and you said, you know what? Forget $15,000. Let me tell you what's happening. The person who sold you that small condo most likely bought a townhouse or a semi-detached or a smaller detached house and need this money to close that deal. The person who sold them the townhouse or a smaller house most likely bought a bigger house and they need that money to close that property. And people who sold that huge house most likely either downsizing or maybe bought a business, or you never know what they did, but they need that money. So guess what? You're gonna get sued not just from the first person who sold you that condo. You're gonna get sued by all those people. It's like a ripple effect. There was a recent case that the buyer owned at the end $1.2 million to all those people. You don't want to be that one. Please make sure you talk to your lawyer before you do anything. And I would say think 10 times, not twice, 10 times before you put an offer, okay? Before you put your hand on the paper, make sure you know what you're doing. The second scenario, if you're buying a firm offer, like a property with a firm offer, unconditional offer, which you probably heard the agent saying, we don't have a financial clause in there, we don't have inspection clause, we don't have anything. It's a firm offer. Here's money, we're buying the property. And you have to deliver that money on Monday for deposit. You decided to change your mind and you said, I didn't deliver it, the deal is off. No, it's not. You still can potentially get sued by the seller because they're going to lose their momentum. They might sell it now for the less money that they initially wanted or got from you, and you're going to still be liable for breach of contract, and they have the full right to sue you. And guess what? Most likely you will lose in court. So before you do anything, make sure you're well educated about all these terms. And if you want to know more about your rights and options, do not hesitate to contact me, or even better, contact your lawyer. Please like this video and subscribe if you didn't already. And let's check for our next clause, which is irrevocability and completion date. Fancy words. That's it for now. Matilda, and your realtor truly cares.